Challenger was not lost because nobody saw the danger. The night before launch, engineers recommended waiting for warmer weather. By midnight, Thiokol management had reversed that advice. The people with final launch authority never learned that the no-launch recommendation had existed. The problem centered on rubber seals inside the booster's segment joints. Each booster was assembled from stacked steel segments. At ignition, internal pressure flexed each joint and widened its sealing gap. The primary O-ring had fractions of a second to move and close the gap. Cold rubber responded more slowly. If hot gas escaped, the backup seal might not work either. Warnings had been accumulating. Earlier flights returned with O-ring erosion, soot, and blow-by. Every earlier shuttle launch below 61 degrees Fahrenheit showed some thermal distress. After a secondary nozzle seal eroded in 1985, NASA imposed a launch constraint. Then that constraint was waived for 6 consecutive flights. NASA and Morten Thiokol increasingly treated recurring damage as an acceptable risk because every damaged booster had still completed its mission. On January 27, 1986, forecasters expected exceptional cold at Kennedy Space Center. Thiokol engineers in Utah joined NASA managers in Alabama and Florida by teleconference. Their evidence was incomplete, but their recommendation was clear. Do not launch until the O-rings reached 53 degrees Fahrenheit, the lowest temperature in their previous flight experience. NASA managers challenged the temperature argument. Damage had not followed a neat pattern, and 24 shuttle missions had launched without catastrophe. Boisjoli later testified that engineers were being asked to prove failure instead of demonstrating safety. Thiokol asked to go off the line. During a roughly 30-minute caucus, engineers Roger Boisjoli and Arnold Thompson maintained their opposition. 4 Thiokol managers made the final review and reversed the recommendation. A signed recommendation to launch was faxed to NASA. At the launch site, Thiokol representative Alan MacDonald still argued for delay. The original recommendation and continuing objections never reached NASA's final launch authorities. The launch director did not know Thiokol had first recommended against flight. At 11:38 the next morning, the ambient temperature was 36 degrees. The right booster's aft field joint was estimated near 28. At ignition, black smoke appeared there. Combustion debris may have temporarily plugged the opening. Around 58 seconds, a flame emerged, struck the external tank assembly, and precipitated Challenger's breakup about 73 seconds after liftoff. All 7 crew members died. The Rogers Commission found a physical cause and a contributing cause: a faulty field joint design, unacceptably sensitive to temperature and other conditions, and a flawed launch process marked by incomplete communication and repeated waivers. Shuttle flights stopped for 32 months. Engineers redesigned and rigorously tested the booster joint. NASA strengthened safety oversight, changed shuttle management, and made more than 200 modifications. Discovery returned to flight on September 29, 1988. The field joint was redesigned. The harder lesson remains: survival is not proof of safety when the same damage keeps returning. The disaster began before liftoff, when past luck was converted into permission for the next risk.